Okay, this is version 2 of my screen, of my reference overview. Let's first do the video.
I was so distracted, I burned my muffins.
No.
Yes!
Oh!
I never burn anything, ever.
No, for some reason it feels a little off. Okay, but anyway, this is my keys. I'm going to start with the female side. Okay, so it starts off, this part is a little tricky. I'm going to be doing so basically it's going to be a extreme or kind of, kind of an extreme, then a key, settle, extreme, and then we get to our poses. Okay, so here we have the anticipation, key, and then the extreme would be all the way up at the top, the eye blink. You can also see that here. And then we go into anticipation around 3:15, 3:13. Yep, anticipation. Then we go to key 3:22, and then we have at 4:01 a hold, which I can't get to right now. And then, but the hold is here. Oh, actually, that's the key. So here I have all my keys, and then on either side I have the passing, hold, extremes, whatever it may be. So actually, that is my key. 401 is my key. And then we have at 406, the anticipation comes out so that we can get to the key at 412, which is this one. And then at 417, this one is, even though it looks like it's passing, it's kind of like a pinpoint of emotion. So that's why I made that a key. And then at 417 is where we get the anticipation, but it's also kind of an extreme for that one into this extreme key, but I put it as an extreme. But you see that it still was a key. It was once a key, but I put it as an extreme on its own, just because we have a perfect settle right here around 518, where it kind of just settles. And then she has a hold all the way to 608. So this part is pretty long, and it's pretty it's kind of a lot going on right there, but it's subtle. So that's the reason why there's extreme, extreme, and then a hold. And then we go into the anticipation again at 611. It's the eye shut that turns into the anticipation. I believe that my actual anticipation is between 611 and 613, but I can't get to that one. So what I was thinking of doing was applying 611 with the face wise, and then at 613 applying the hands. So like the motion of the hands coming off the face, etc. And then we have our key pose at 618. I want to position the head a little up just so that her face is in frame. Um, and then we go into passing at 7:05. Actually, that should be more of an anticipation passing. And then we go into the next anticipation after that. So after that passing, we go into the next anticipation for the next key, which is at 7:11. 7:11. Yeah, so we go into the next key at 7:11. and then at extreme, and then we have an extreme anticipation at 716. So this is extreme anticipation. And then we have the actual key at 716. Then at 722, we have the anticipation and passing. So it's like this, anticipation passing. And then we get our next key at 802. And then our extreme at 807. So it's kind of like an up motion. So that's the reason why I thought that that should be the extreme. Then we have a hold and settle because it kind of settles around this time where everything drops. So the shoulder drops, the mouth even opens, the arm kind of drops a little bit. Well, actually, it comes up, but it just relaxes. I notice even the other hand relaxes. Um, and then that's when we go into 815, which is our final key pose, which is sort of, once again, a settle, but it's our key pose. Um, Now to the next side, the male side. For my male, once again, the starting, I really want to start it around here just because there's a lot going on, but I feel like the start pose that correctly represents him would be like around here. So a couple seconds in. And if we go to 101, we have a anticipation uh, key, and then we have our next key at 113, which is our actual key, but it's kind of settled. So it's a key, but it's also a settle. And then we have our anticipation right here. So anticipating, and then we have the actual key at 204, the first take, and then he shoots his head back. At 210, we get the next anticipation of him moving his head back. And then at 216, I might actually, that doesn't make sense because for him to move his head back, I need to have another key. So my next key would actually be this right here at 208 of him putting his head back, and then the overshoot of the anticipation at 210. And then the next key. And then we'll have our passing at 301, which feels like an overshoot, but this, which is the key, actually overshoots a lot more than that. So that's the reason why that's an overshoot slash anticipation. Um, and then we have a hold at 412. So this is a long hold because he's just staring, he's listening, there's slight movement, but he's just staring, he's listening. And then at 419, we get the anticipation of actual movement going back. And then we have a passing, which feels like an extreme once again, but we have a passing at 501 because I felt like if I just had him go here to here, it didn't make sense. I needed to have that middle. So I added the middle, and then we have the extreme key F514. Once again, this is kind of a hold, which I need to put inside my notes. There's a hold around five, around the fifth key pose. Okay. Um, and then anticipation. So 514. Okay. Then we have an anticipation again at 520. So the anticipation of him going like this into a like a stump with his elbow, sort of. And the extreme would be him actually making that contact just because of how much he like emphasizes on the no. I probably should have did a better job at emphasizing on the no, but it needs to be more of like his head is bobbing. Exaggerate that. And then 606, we have sort of a key, but it also feels like a settle once again. And then at 608, we have a hold, which once again, it's like a settle. So hold, settle, same thing. Um, then we have an anticipation at 615. Anticipation into the next pose. The next pose is going to be the at 623, which is him coming reaching over. I just realized you guys can't see the mouse, but him reaching over, and then at 708, him putting it down. So it's gonna be like a settle. I do want to clarify the movement that's happening there. So probably gonna need. No, I think that's good. I was gonna say I probably need another breakdown, but I'm pretty sure I can add a breakdown later. And then at 714, we have the anticipation of the head coming back forward so that he can swing it back towards the direction she's in. 718 is the key. And then we have the passing at 720, where he closes his eyes and goes in for that next passing of his head bobbing the other way at 807. And then at 815, we have his head moving back. And then we have at 811, we have, wait, hold on. Oh, this is backwards. Whoops. Yes. So at 807, then 811, then 815. So let's see. So 807, we have the passing. 811, we have the overshoot, settle. Then we have the key pose, which once again feels like a settle. But yeah, that is my keys. That's my overview of my reference. Part two. I wanted more detailed version for myself, and I thought I might as well just record this version and let it be my actual reference overview instead of the other one. Oh, yes, and by the way, for this project, I used to put it together, and then for my keys and everything, I used PureRef. You know how you call it? Yeah, PureRef to put everything together